Welcome to Sports Hour on the Inyuba TV. My name is Precious Njoko.
And I'm Kingsley Mwoki.
And today on Sports Hour, Andy Murray plans to play ATP Challenger Tour in Bordeaux before the Geneva Open. And also, Manchester United up against Arsenal in a highly anticipated clash we are all expecting over the weekend. And we're going to kickstart with Andy Murray. Andy Murray plans to play the ATP Challenger Tour in Bordeaux before the Geneva Open as a preparation for the French Open, which might likely be his last time on clay court as he warms up for what would I call a potential retirement from the beautiful game of tennis. And we all know the story of Andy Murray. At a point, I thought he was not going to continue playing tennis again because of injury and the metal hip. But when I look at his story, it's a story of hope. And I say this is an example that the younger ones should actually emulate and see him struggle, you know, trying to get back to the form he used to be. At times I'm like, why don't you just stop playing tennis and just call it, 5 p.m. on your career?
Well, maybe he feels that it's not time yet to retire from the world of tennis because when you look at injuries all these years, it has not really allowed him to show his true potentials. I know he was able to win 3 Grand Slams before he started having those injury problems, and he's trying to be fit. But when you are old and when you are that age, it's always very difficult to overcome some injuries, especially those niggling injuries. It's always very difficult, and that has been the problem of Andy Murray down the years. Recovery from injury, having a setback, going back again. But this year, he's been able to start the tour, but he also got injured during the process. But he's hoping to be fit for the French Open, but I don't know whether it will be feasible for him. But let's see what happens in this tour. Maybe he can build fitness from it. He can also try to be 100% because he has not been 100% for a very long time. And for a sportsman, when you're not 100%, it's always very difficult to perform at that level. So that is the problem Andy Murray has had in recent time. But I hope he becomes fit this time around.
Well, I think this is just an avenue for him to build fitness going into the French Open, but most importantly, the Olympics. And we all know the clay court has not really been a favorable ground for Andy Murray. His Grand Slams came at the Wimbledon and then US Open. When you look at the clay court, the French Open, also known as the Roland Garros, it's not really been a favorable ground for him. So this is more like what I call a transition, where probably this might just be the last time we might be seeing Andy Murray, play at the Roland Garros. And again, it's a build-up for the Olympics because the big guys are all gunning for the Olympics. The likes of Novak Djokovic, that is one, medal that has actually eluded him, to decorate his illustrious career. For Andy Murray, I'm excited to see him at the ATP Challenger Tour in Bordeaux before the Geneva Open. But however it may be, I just don't want him to get injured again. If the French Open is a target, then he needs to be very selective on, the tournaments, the ATP tours he actually participates in.
Yes, I think the French Open, that is the Roland Garros, will come later this month.
May 10 to 6.
Yes, exactly. So they want to use this tournament to maybe warm up and try to be in the groove or be in the mood and all that. That is just the plan. I don't think he's going there to win. He's just trying to be fit and all that and see how it goes for him. I think he's someone that has really suffered through different kind of injuries, and he's trying to be fit. He said he wants to be at the Olympics, like you said.
Yeah, he wants to.
Even the French Open, but I don't think he will be.
Well, at this point, he has to choose one.
Yes, I think if I'm him, I will not try to stress my body. I will just go to these tournaments not expecting anything, then try to be fit for the Olympics. For me, I think that is a very good place to maybe win that trophy you want to win before you retire. Maybe the Wimbledon Open again is also a good play because he will be home.
But I think you're giving Andy Murray too much hope right now. Going to the Olympics and winning the Olympics.
I'm trying to give him confidence.
He's 36 or 37. So you saying Andy Murray winning the Olympics, that's going to be more like a miracle for that to happen because Novak Djokovic has his eyes set on the Olympics and he has not hidden the fact that this is something he wants to win. And if you notice this year, he's been very selective of the ATP tournaments that he has played in. And he also wants to defend his French Open title and also be fit for the Roland Garros. So it's not going to be easy for Andy Murray winning the Olympics. But if he's probably going to get 1 or 2 ATP wins in his bag before he actually calls it 5 p.m. on his career, I'm open for it. I love the fact that he has shown this zeal, you know, to continue even after the surgery, and a lot of persons actually wrote him off. Playing with a metal hip, it's not a child's play.
I think it has always been his problem. I think after going for that surgery, he has not been the same again. I think he's been struggling. And you know, when you have so many injuries and you go under a knife and all those kind of stuff, I think if you are not really that strong mentally, it's always very hard for any athlete, and that is one of the problems Andy Murray has had this year. And for me, it's still a very good career for him. He has won 3 Grand Slams. For me, it's still progress.
At least when you talk about people that have won Grand Slam, you always want to talk about Andy Murray.
He can't be like Novak. He can't be like Rafael Nadal.
But he's just there.
Yeah, he's just there.
No matter how you look at it, he's there. If you want to call up people that have won Grand Slam, you definitely bring up an Andy Murray there.
You mention his name.
All right, and away from Andy Murray, now to the big game of the weekend, which is Manchester United up against Arsenal. It's a game that Arsenal have found it difficult to get results at Old Trafford. But before we get to that, now let's talk about Erik ten Hag, the Manchester United manager, who has come under a lot of scrutiny as a result of Manchester United's poor performance this season in the league, and also their disastrous performance or outing at the UEFA Champions League. Now, he came out to say that he's not worried about, you know, being sacked. That the owners of Manchester United, they have common sense. And meaning, you know what is the right thing to do.
Do they really have common sense?
Well, you talked about the Glazer family. The Glazer family, you know, at a point, it was all about business for the Glazer family. Until Jim Ratcliffe came and said, okay, fine, do the business aspect, all right, while I do the on-field aspect, which includes making sure that Manchester United starts winning trophy again. Because since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson, it's been a difficult spell for every Manchester United fan. Manchester United are yet to win the Premier League trophy. Yeah,
it's been very difficult for them. I think when Sir Alex Ferguson retired, he had to bring in David Moyes, and everything went worse from there. I think they had the likes of Louis van Gaal. They also had
Jose Mourinho, Ralf Rangnick,
who won the UEFA Europa League for them. And since then, winning the league has been a problem. I think when they appointed Erik ten Hag, that was last season, he did very well. He qualified for the Champions League. He also won the Carabao Cup, which for me was good for a first timer in the league. But this year, it's been from bad to worse. I think this season, in fact, the ending of the season is even getting worse for them, because now they are not anywhere. In fact, there's a we are hoping that they qualify for the Europa Conference League or even the Europa League, because the way it is now is very, very difficult for them. I know he has complained of so many things, injuries and so many other things that have happened to Manchester United this season. But also, when you look at how they have played this season, you will also give him part of the blame, because the players he recruited during the summer wasn't really that
lived
good.
Up to the billing.
Exactly. They bought Anthony. They bought so many players.
Sandro Martinez, Andrea Nana, Sofa
Rashmas, Howard. They are not really, they have not done well, and they also had issues with the likes of Jadon Sancho, who is at Borussia Dortmund now. But when you look at the performance of the team, it has not really been
average.
Yes, it's been average, but you could also say that truly they have had injury problems. But when Ratcliffe came in, he had a one-on-one discussion with Erik ten Hag, but I don't know whether things will change in the coming months.
Well, let's see what happens, because, you know, according to so many reports right now, Manchester United have shortlisted about 5 managers as potential replacement for Erik ten Hag, and one of those replacements happens to be the national team coach for the Lions, which is Gareth Southgate, which... Well, anyway, I've got my reservations on Gareth.
Do you think he would take that job?
And that's what I'm saying. I've got my reservations on, you know, Gareth Southgate. Another potential replacement is Amorim. Remember, Amorim was linked to Liverpool before they got the services of Ane. And then you have the likes of Roberto De Zerbi and co. But now let's talk about the big game over the weekend. It is Manchester United up against Arsenal. And in the last 7, 8, 9 games at Old Trafford, Arsenal have registered just 1 win. It's not been a good hunting place for Arsenal. And Arsenal are in a position where they can afford to drop points owing to the fact that Manchester City are locking behind and with a game to spare. So against Manchester United on Sunday, it's a must-win game for Arsenal. Why for Manchester United? Chelsea are ahead of Manchester United. Obviously, for the first time this season, Chelsea ahead of Manchester United in the league with no difference. So meaning Manchester United can afford to draw points against Arsenal on Sunday. So it's a game that holds a lot of importance, not just for the Manchester United fans, but also for Arsenal fans. Good news for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford, who has a love or a thing for scoring against Arsenal, is back, and then Lisandro Martinez is back. So we're not going to see the combination of Danny Evans and Casemiro during the weekend, because it was a disastrous pairing during their game against Crystal Palace.
I think it will be a very interesting game. I think for Arsenal, they know they need to win at Old Trafford. I know it has not really been an easy place to go in recent years. Even if Manchester United are playing badly, they always have a way of defeating Arsenal. But this time around, I think the purpose is different. I think they want to win the league, and they have the luxury of watching Manchester City play first.
But would you call it luxury, or would you probably say it's going to put them under pressure?
Under pressure, maybe.
Because the last time Manchester City played, and Arsenal had to play, Arsenal lost 2-0 to Aston Villa.
So maybe this time around they will have to wait. They will wait for Manchester City to play first before that game at Old Trafford on Sunday. But it's a game the Arsenal team need to go all out and win at Old Trafford. And this time around, they are lucky because Manchester United is suffering from injury issues. They might not have a complete defense because even the likes of Harry Maguire is injured. So they might have maybe Johnny Evans and maybe Lisandro Martinez.
But that's even better compared to Danny Evans and Casemiro.
Well, will Martinez be fit? Will he be 100%? Because he's coming back from injury.
Well, it's a risk that Eric can afford to take. It's a gamble because you know what is at stake for him.
And I think looking at the Manchester United team, I think they have not really been performing very, very well.
Against Arsenal, they do.
Maybe the likes of Rashford, he has a thing, like you said, of scoring against Arsenal. Maybe he might turn on the heat again on Sunday.
I
don't know. But Arsenal, I think the way they have played this season, I think they're a team on a mission. They know what they want. I saw them win at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Not London derby?
Yeah, exactly. I think the performance has been good against the top sides. In fact, they have not lost against any top sides
this season. So
it's good for them. It's good for their confidence also. But for me, when you ask me who is going to win that game,
why do you want to ask you right now?
Okay, but I still think Arsenal have the edge. Looking at what is happening at the moment, Arsenal have the edge.
All right, and well, it's a huge game over the weekend. Manchester United up against Arsenal at Old Trafford. It's a game that holds a lot of importance, not just for Manchester United fans, also for Arsenal fans who are looking to win a first trophy since the Invincibles. My name is Precious Njoku. Thank you so much for doing this with us on Sports Hour.
And my name is Kingsley Walker. Thanks for joining us.